And I also remember that before the governor joined the APC members in the states described those mega projects as a conduit pipe to misappropriate funds. I wonder what they have to say now that the governor has defected to the APC. But for some of your critics who say that mega urban projects, such urban mega projects such as this come at the expense of rural roads, how do you respond to that? What portion or what proportion
that
of
is not true. That is not true. Oborevwori has a unique approach to infrastructure development. Of course, you know the creation of the Ministry of Works in charge of rural and riverine routes is for the simple purpose of reaching out to riverine communities and at the same time handling projects that are in the rural communities. But that's not enough. The governor also desired to be able to speed up the processes, also created the Director of Rural, Riverine Infrastructure, which is also handling a number of projects in the riverine communities. And that, of course, is without prejudice to what we're also doing with our interventionist agency, the DESOPADEC. And if there was anybody who claimed that projects are conduit pipe, as I speak to you, those projects that were awarded, which was supposed to last for a period of 30 months, in less than 27 months, they have already been completed. If you go to the DSC bridge now, the DSC roundabout, that particular long stretch of bridge is already completed. Our people are already making use of it, starting from the U-type period. The one in NRA has also been completed. The PTI junction is also almost completed. Then the slipway in the Funo roundabout is also very, very functional. Julius Berger has also continued the expansion of the road leading to the Ukbe Aziz, and then, of course, heading towards the MPA, which are part of the contract that were awarded in that early time that you mentioned. It was not just the bridges that were awarded. And so, before now, there were some members, even before we moved into the APC, who were wondering how they were going to square up with Oborevwori, given the number of projects that he's executing. And good enough, they discovered that we all now found ourselves in one ship. And they are saying, thank God that they didn't need to suffer to be able to campaign against him. And so those were some of the issues. Even the chairman of the party confessed that much, that in one of the days where he was passing through some of those bridges, the person riding with him asked, how are we going to campaign against this kind of governor? But now we are in the same party, and by the grace of God, a whole lot is happening in our state beyond those ones that you talked about. And so we are very comfortable where we are. Beyond that, Oborevwori have also demonstrated a whole lot of transparency and accountability in the management of the state's resources, which is why he can boldly say and beat his chest that we are solvent. Not many states can boast of being solvent. And we did not become solvent because Oborevwori is getting something extra than other people. It just happened that he's managing the ones that is coming to Delta State very judiciously and giving us results at the same time. So, Jumoka, we are standing on a very, very strong footing, and we are quite comfortable that going into the next election, that the very wonderful performance of Oborevwori will speak very, very loud as Deltans approach the polls.
And for some stakeholders who are concerned about the durability of certain rural roads, and I'll give you instances, they're looking at places like Udu FC ECN Road, which I'm aware the governor was there in January. People are also talking about parts of rural Nyocha North and Undukwa East areas, internal links of the Warri-Patani corridor. Talk to us about the kind of quality control mechanisms that are in place to ensure these roads last beyond one rainy season.
Well, before I go to that, let me tell you that one of the things beyond the issue of the creation of ministries to deal with projects in the rural communities, one major thing that Governor Oborevwori has done to ensure that you have even spread of projects is through the budgetary provision. Whilst we were preparing the 2024 budget, Oborevwori directed that we need to be able to provide 1 billion naira that is specific to each of the local governments in Delta, and that gave us about 25 billion for the purpose of just intervening within the local government. That, of course, is without prejudice to the many other provisions that we have across different local governments and then running across the 3 senatorial districts. Having seen the success recorded with that particular provision, in 2025, as we are preparing the budget for the 2025 fiscal year, he opted to 2.1 billion per local government. And that particular process also made it possible for us to be able to intervene in a number of these rural communities and then bring in quality, very strong contractors to be able to carry out these projects. And of course, you do know that it's not only the commissioners that goes on inspection. The governor himself is always in the field, ensuring that all projects are being executed according to specification as very well spelled out in the Bill of Engineering, Measurement and Evaluation. And then beyond that, having also seen that that has made it possible for us to be able to construct roads across the 25 local government areas, including the ones you have mentioned, whether it's in Udu, whether it's in Indokwa East. Even today in Indokwa East, we have a particular road that is taking us almost close to 30 billion. It's called the Abo Akarai. It has a bridge. That particular project is also being handled by a very competent international contractor. And so we are ensuring that these projects we are giving out are being done according to specifications so that it can stand the test of time. Now, as we started the preparation for the 2026 budget, the governor reasoned that there is a whole lot we have achieved with the specific provisions for different local governments, and he decided to up it to 3 billion per local government. But after doing that, he saw that there was the need to also think of how we can also have additional intervention, either in the area of road expansion, or in the area of medical expansion, or in the area of building and ensuring that we have more infrastructure in our primary and secondary schools. So the governor decided that he needed to introduce another 4 billion per local government. That brings it a total of 7 billion in the 2026 budget. Jumoke, I am very happy you follow the 36 states of the Federation. You will agree with me that there is no single state that has that kind of specific provision for their different local governments. That, of course, like I said earlier, is without prejudice to the many other provisions we have in our budget that addresses several other issues in other sectors across these different local government areas. And so we are happy with what we are doing with respect to the constant supervision led by the governor himself to ensure that debtors get value for money. All the roads, beyond the fact that we have the likes of Julius Berger, the likes of CCECC, and many other in that respect, having to execute our projects, we're also ensuring that even the local contractors are also able to measure up through the process of a constant supervision of these projects, Jumoke.
All right, so apart from